here with Frazer Clarke. He's checking his socials. It happens. The joys. But at least I've got him. Because I've been DMing him and he's been ignoring me. Been trying to get in his gym, but he's been blanking me. October Red Boxing here with the lovely Frazer Clarke. Jesus Christ, look how tall you are compared to me.
Big man.
Right, press conference. Good opponent. I actually like this opponent better than your last one. Talk to us about that. And he's someone that's been in with Daniel Dubois as well. Like Ben quite rightly said on his, 16th fight?
Yeah, I mean, not reading too much into that. He's just a good opponent. You know, for the stage I'm at, you just have to, like, take these opponents and do what you got to do. You know what I mean? You got to do the business. And, yeah, I'm here for that.
Somebody that's been kept active is yourself. Somebody that's going to climb through the ranks is yourself. We've had Solomon Dakers recently win the English title against, is it Robert Ismay? I can't even remember his name. Stopped him in round 2. You've been sparring with Solomon. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Solomon's solid. He's a good fighter. It will be a good fight. We'll fight one day, 100% without a doubt. I think we need to fight each other. We've been like in the same team as each other, done a lot of rounds with each other. There's a lot of mutual respect there. I won't say we're friends, but we get on with each other. And one day, I'm pretty sure we'll get it cracking.
You know, when you talk about that and you've been around each other, and like you said, there's that mutual respect. How does that go in like this game where you could be sat top table together, getting ready to go at it, to go for maybe let's say the British title, because obviously I think that's the title that you're talking about going for?
Yeah, I mean, that belongs to Fabio at the minute, so it's all about like when that happens. But yeah, listen, like Sol's a real guy, you know what I mean? He's not a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? So it's just business, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there'll be a couple of fights in there with me, so it'll be one, we're gonna get paid, but two, there's been a lot of closeness between us in terms of I was number 1, he was number 2 on GB. He probably holds that in him a little bit because I know I would. You know, there's probably a little something to prove there for him as well. But he's doing his thing, you know what I mean? He did well against Rob Ismay. I need to do my thing the weekend. And them talks aren't too far away, you know, between like myself, Solomon, myself, Fabio, myself, and other people like that.
We talk about Fabio because Fabio's the one with the British belt. He's the one that everyone's looking at like, I want him next. Styles make fights. How would you see that fight going with Fabio? Yes, I understand we've got Saturday, but I understand that you're an Olympian and you're going to want to go for those titles. Talk to me about Fabio.
You know what? It pisses me off because it sounds like I'm like here like gunning for Fabio because I'm not.
No, well, we know that, but he's got something that you want.
Exactly, you get me? It's just what it is. He's got a good style. He's an exciting fighter. I just believe I'm better, and I believe I've got the tools to beat him. It's really that simple. The proof will be in the pudding when we fight. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to think the new breed of heavyweights, like we are, we ain't gonna do too much talky. We're just gonna fight. Do you know what I mean? Even though the talky makes money, so you gotta do a bit of it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, me and Fabio, like I say, there's no disrespect there. Do you know what? After his when he won the British title, I bought him a pint. I said, there you go, bro, enjoy. Do you know what I mean? I'm not bad people's, but yeah, he's got what I want, and I think we should fight one day.
We talk about having what you want. You've been a fighter that has kept particularly active. You had your debut last year, and you just keep on going. Talk to us about this last-minute opponent then. What do you see? How do you think you can break him down? Because that's something that you mentioned up there. You're looking at now, starting to break your opponent down over the rounds, not looking to just go in there and throw those 3 combinations and making them count.
You know, you got to be professional. I watch a lot of fighting, watch fighters, watch old fighters. Like I said, I was watching Joe Lewis last night, I watched Bernard Hopkins last night. Who else did I watch last night? I watched Roberto Duran last night as well. And you know, there's all different styles. Don't get me wrong, I'm none of them, but you take little things from them, and there's a way to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like going there gun ho. There's a way to do it. And tell you what, I watched as well. I watched Dan Aziz. He knows the way to do it. He breaks people down. Constant pressure, crack them, make them crack, make them think. Every time you throw a punch, you're getting fucking hit back with 2. you know what I mean? So stuff like that.
So how do you see yourself breaking down Dinu then? Because he's going to come to win. He's not going to come there to like get knocked out.
Going to throw some wings, some big shots, then I've got to be careful of the right hand over the top, the big left hook. He's going to look for them. Everyone looks for that against me. I have a nice, good feet, nice balance, nice hand position. Pricking and probing my jab, use it as a weapon now and then.
Yeah.
I might break him down to the body, might stay to his head. You know, we'll see.
We talk about those improvements that you've made under Angel. One of them you said is balance, and also like the technical side of boxing. We've spoke several times, and you was like, I didn't realise how different the pros is. It's completely different game. So your improvements, Frazer?
I believe balance is the most important thing a professional fighter can have. Being able to punch all the time. Be in a position to punch all the time, no matter if you're under pressure, you're taking it to someone. I believe that's very, very important. And so I've been working on it. It's not perfect. It might slip up, but I've got to go back to that, be able to reset and go back to that all the time.
The headline card, an old, teammate of yours, Lawrence Okoli. Talk to us how you think his fight's going to go with David Light.
Yeah, that's my brother, my boy, my guy, a soldier, proper. I don't see too much of Light, but what I did see was he's sort of like, he had a bit of heart in him, do you know what I mean? He had a bit of heart in him, so he's going to need it, because when Lawrence hits you, it fucking hurts, believe me. He can proper whack.
And we know that, but obviously you're in the same camp, the same training camp as Richard Riakporhe. The fight that all of us want to see is them to obviously get that fight on. What is it like for you, Frazer? Because you're with Richard day in, day out, but Lawrence Okoli is a teammate from GB. Your relationship obviously goes back a lot further. What is that like when you see the two of them, like, kind of not going at it, but in fact, yeah, going at it?
I've had to get used to it over the years. But you know why? Because I've been friends with every... You know how many teammates I've had? Okay. I could go through them all. Watsy, Cordina, Fowler, and they've all had local rivals, you know what I mean? Like, Fowler box Beefy, and I'm friends with Fowler. I like Beefy, I like all the Smiths. I think it's a case of being there, being present, keeping your mouth shut. You know what I mean? No bias. Rich is my teammate. I've got a lot of love for him. Lawrence is my brother. I've had great experience with him around the world. My only hope is to both get out there safe, both get paid well.
Being on the Boxer platform, we heard a lot of things when Joshua Buatsi came over. One of the things that he did say was, you know, you haven't got to go on an app to find me, to watch me. And then as if by magic, on the same day or a day later, the announcement came out that Matchroom are now going to be broadcasting on Sky. The timing of that was
funny, man. That gave me an absolute joke. I mean, I've got no shade here at Matchroom or DAZN or whatever it is, you know. I'm a boxer fighter. This is my business relationship. I'd like it to be a lot more easy to access. I watch DAZN all the time, so I'd like it to be a little more accessible. And now it's on Sky, it'd be easier to go and find it, because sometimes my app does fuck up, you know, on my phone if I've got no signal and that. And that's probably not even there, for that's like my 4G and shit, you know, messing up the signal and shit. Well, I'm quite happy it's on there, and you know, as long as it's accessible for everyone. But still, Sky Sports, you know what it is? People, the world is like, especially English people, very regimented. Yes. They like to go to channel 401 and see on a Saturday night and see boxing. And they can't be asked to click down 3 times or go into the app and find out. It's just the way it is. It might change over time, but at the minute, yeah, it's very regimented Britain.
So when you think about that, now start to think about the competition between Boxer and Matchroom, because inevitably that sort of like gives you an even playing field. One of the big thing about DAZN is getting the reach, getting more viewers. Now they've got Sky on their side. Like you said, regimented UK, there'll be a lot more eyes on the channel. How do you feel about that kind of healthy competition between the two channels?
It's good. It just means everyone has to do better, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, look at Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know, like, there you go. There we go. We love competition. That's what we're about.
And final thoughts, Frazer. I know you're quite a gentleman, and you're quite polite, and you're quite respectful. I want your thoughts on kind of like how the crossover boxing is, and not for what it actually is, but how the fighters build their profiles. Because everything is about numbers, about eyes, about views. You're a traditionalist. You've come up the hard way. You've done the Olympic route. However, I want your thoughts on how they build their profile, because you can't deny their social presence, and it does make money.
So if you're a man,
Yeah.
you go and have a little shitty slap in front of a camera, post it on YouTube. If you're a girl, you show some titty, some batty, and get some injections in your lips, and then go and create a little OnlyFans, a little bit, probably a little home video, some shagging, post it, and then you can become a misfit. You know what I mean? It's that simple, really.
You know what? I can't even argue with that.
Big up to them now. They're making peas. Big up.
Big P's. I want to see, what are your thoughts then if, say for example, misfits start doing professional boxing, because that's what Mams Taylor's saying, that he gets more DMs. That's what he said to me. He gets more DMs from professional fighters wants to fight on their platform as pros as sometimes he does from the influencers.
Yeah, it's just the shit ones. It's just the shit ones that got no confidence in themselves, obviously, and they're gonna feel some type of way by beating up people that have never fucking trained in their life. Do me a favor, if you're a professional boxer and you're doing a misfit, you're doing it for fuck all else. The money, you've got no ambition, you don't want to be a champion, and in this day and age, I can understand that a lot, because that's what a lot of people are on. So you know what, I'm not holding it against them. You know, if you're doing it for money, but real talk, like, let me give you an example. My boy Ty Mitchell wants to fight Idris.
Yes.
Idris don't really want that fight, like, and I understand Ty will fucking be, well, Ty's
He's horrible.
Ty's disgusting. Yeah. He's a proper. He can fight. He's like legit. He's got his problems with not being able to fight, but if he could, he'd be a competitor. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, that's nasty by nature, nasty by fighting style. But I can understand. You know what? Everyone wants to walk away at the end and look after their family, look after your mum, have nice clothes, have a nice house, have a nice car, have some money in the bank for your kids and that. So I can't blame them. But like, yeah, it's just a mad situation. Like, you're not a boxer, are you? You know, if you're doing that, you're a misfit, you're a hustler. So big up you. You know what I mean?
We like it, and to be fair, that's a good point to end on. But it's like, you hear a lot of fighters that talk about legacy, but then when they start to push through the ranks, get the belts, get the titles, then it becomes about money. We've seen what's been happening in the news with Usyk versus Fury, the to-in and fro-in, the percentages, the splits, the rematches, the no rematches. And at the end of the day, who loses out? The fans of boxing.
What are you doing it for, innit? Do you know what I mean? What are you doing it for? Do you wanna? You ask these guys who their heroes was.
Okay.
And they've all lost. Their heroes would have all lost. I think Tyson Fury, in front of Mike Tyson, in front of Ali, I think I've talked about it before. Them guys have lost. They're still legends. Tyson Fury can never fight again, or he can fight again and lose the next 5 fights. Still legend. Still done mad stuff. Still done more than anyone could ever hope for. So I don't know. I don't know how to get into it, but you know, I just wanted to fight because I want to see it. Innit? Do you know what I mean?
Moving on then, finally, your manager, part of your team, 258, the head of 258, Anthony Joshua, goes up against Jermaine Franklin next week. Because you're very good on commentary, you're good at breaking down fights. Break down the fight on how you see it going.
First round, Franklin will come out, try to close the distance. It's look for AJ to establish a solid jab to make him think that he can't just walk in. Let him know if anytime he does come in, he's walking onto a right hand. When he gets inside, he'll either nullify him or whack a few underneath until the point where he doesn't stop coming in, and then he's on the outside and he's keeping a long jab. But Lennox Lewis style, Lennox Lewis showed you how to do it. You know, like David Tua, like keep him out there, prod him, bang, bang, good, prod him, bang, bang underneath. Yeah, and then when the opportunity comes, you either catch him on the way in, put him down, or if he holds his feet for a second and he turns it on, yeah, do him.
What do you think AJ has to be wary of in this fight? Because there's risk. Okay.
There's a lot of shots, man. The guy's quite busy. He's coming behind a double jab. He's trying to stab to the body, come over the top of the right hand. Yeah, he'll be using a lot of head movement, which will tire him out because he'll be all over the place. But you got to keep your distance, be nice and calm, relax, good hand position, be able to catch him around the side. Really keep him out there, like I say, prod him, poke him, stab him, hurt him, drill him down, punch down on him, and really punish him, man.
That sounds absolutely beautiful. And under the tutelage, then, do you think him and Derek James, oh shit with names again, Derek James will make a good combination? Because obviously he's been in the gym with you as well.
It looks like I spoke to him last week, and he said,
That's all right,
and he said to me, he said his words was, a trainer can have a big effect on you. So I feel like he's had a big effect on him.
And on that note,
Mentally, physically, I don't know, but that's good here.
the main event's going up, Frazer. It's always a pleasure, and I'll speak to you fight night, legs.
See you then. Go on. See you legs.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.